Okay, welcome back to this van conversion, and despite it being ridiculously cold, we're still out working in the van, and we're going to try not to open the doors because today's work day is going to be very short if we do. So we're going to build some cupboards right here. There's going to be a cupboard right here. Can you see it? Here's the drill. This is what the shelf is going to look like. It's going to be made from 2 aluminium beams spanning from one end to the van to the other end of the van. So this is a wall and that's a wall. The aluminium beams are going to be joined by a ply sheet on top, which is going to hold them at the correct distance. And the shelf itself is going to be mounted to the walls using this aluminium bracket. The L bracket will be joined at the van's wall framing right here, and the aluminium beam here will be screwed from underneath using the L bracket here. Now you might be wondering, what are all of these rods and what are they for? Well, since we're going to have a 3 cm cavity here, we thought, hey, let's not waste the space and just make it into multifunctional storage. So we're planning to put 8mm rods all along the length of the shelf. So that's the gist of what's happening. So let's carry on. So hold on. Okay, so we need to measure the head clearance of the shelf versus the seat that's going to be down here. And because of the height of fridges, the seat has to have a clearance of 64 centimeters high. So, and then basically you sit on top of that. So any cushions on top of that add to the height. So that is its high position. I was imagining it to be about here.
Yeah, me too.
Shush, rain! I'm so sorry if you can't hear me. There's just rain! So the question is, do we put that one higher? Do we decrease the, I guess, the puffiness of the cushioning back here? Because we can't really decrease the clearance we have underneath for storage.
Because of fridges.
Fridges, which are expensive and don't fit entirely the way we want them to. Never mind. Or do we just lift that higher? Do we lift that a bit higher? I mean, I don't know how much space we need. Boing, boing, boing.
Well, I mean, that seems to be about okay for you.
Okay, so just doing a, let's call it a reality check of how comfortable it is or how cozy it is and whether we like it.
Yeah, so we've got the aluminium resting roughly on the bracket.
Yeah, so if it's at that height.
So this cardboard would essentially be the shelf. So this would be the space for the shelf.
Yeah.
And then underneath, if I come underneath, how are we doing under here?
Well, it's fine for me.
Well, that actually looks much better when you mock it up with cardboard like that.
Yeah.
Guessing with invisible lines was harder to see.
Something I'm just noticing here before I forget it. This, because the van tilts, this is no longer the right angle that it needs to be. This gap here, that is straight. That is perpendicular to the floor.
Meanwhile, if you did that,
that is perpendicular to this point here in the wall.
So if this was the aluminium, we did that.
Yeah, then the aluminium starts pivoting down. It has a distinct angle, so what you need
is to do that.
To do that.
Okay, so we need to stick like a wedge.
So you need a wedge there, yeah. Either a wedge or you have to bend the angle. I think a wedge is better for this.
Yes, wedge is better.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the other side, well, we'll have to make sure it's the same height down.
Yeah. We need to find something to measure against. Okay, so having measured the distance from the floor all the way up there 4 times to try and get a level measurement. So we've said that the bottom of the L bracket sits here and sits here. The width here, so the actual shelf, should be parallel to the floor.
Yeah.
So making your measurements from the floor all the way up is the most consistent measurement you can get. The most level you can be.
It's the best way, I think, to get the shelf level.
There you go, that's our line there. And now
3 looks okay. I think we should start with 3 because we can always undo the screw and wedge something else in.
Alright, so that is what we're trying to correct. Okay, so now that we have put the L brackets up as perpendicular and as parallel as they can be for now, so we just need to double check the length between them. That is about 1535.
This lined up properly, so that's right at the front here, push that to the back there. So if I try and push this one anymore, it can go a little bit, but that wire is blocking it.
I was thinking that we can put the wire in here.
Okay, so with the wire there, let's move that right to the front. So the distance is now 31.5. So the plan is to just put a sheet of 6mm ply the width of these beams here. So imagine this cardboard all the way along and in 6mm ply.
Yep.
So we need to cut 1535 by 320.
So we're hoping that 6mm hardwood ply is going to be enough for the meager 30-ish centimeters of width there that we have to cover. And hopefully the 6mm will be enough to be sturdy and not warp with weight. And the weight is not going to be that much on that shelf. So it should be okay. So now, and the reason we want to use 6mm ply is because we have a lot of it. Just gonna go check the rice. Just making it cool down faster.
I see, by putting it in 0-degree weather.
Yeah.
So we need to keep the wheel arch ones, don't we? Is it done yet? Can we eat lunch?
I can't tell. I can never tell with rice until it's absolutely mushy.
Give it a few minutes longer. I think this is the best candidate piece.
So you would
straight
want that,
line
yeah.
down there, and then we can cut the height off.
Yeah.
And we should be able to avoid those holes. See, it's worth reusing the ply that you have rather than buying more, because ply is expensive. And to be perfectly honest, it's not in bad shape either.
Nope.
Considering it's been spent 4 years and 120,000 miles in a van.
Okay, great face. Come along, because the food will burn. Right, things are pretty much done.
Alright.
They're just sitting in the sauce.
Sweet.
We'll save ourselves a lot of headache if we just remove another couple of mil.
We'll mark ourselves a little semicircle to cut for that wire to go through. I'm going to cut off that whole corner.
Maybe not. It's not easy to reach, okay? I just said I'm short.
Shelf.
So build a shelf that I can't see.
And it keeps falling down.
And then expect me to be able to see what I'm drawing.
Go trim.
It fits. There you go. It fits. That's the cable idea. Yeah. There you go. So that needs screwing down.
There you go, there's the shelf.
Prototype.
This shelf, we said probably no more than 20 or 30 kilos, that's what we calculated.
Yeah.
Without it being screwed in, where's the middle? Here?
Yeah.
If I just try and... I'm not going to try and lift myself up on it, but...
No. It bends.
I'm putting quite a lot of force on that.
Okay, well, put normal amount of force. Let's get 3 kilos on it. Hold on.
What do we have that's 20 kilos?
Batteries?
Yeah. Oh no, they're all connected together.
Okay,
Car battery. The car battery was 23 kilos. Okay, in practicality's sake, 26 kilos on this shelf.
That's all together in one spot, which is unlikely. Ooh, it's bending. It's bending.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think we generally plan to have that many kilos in one location.
But the important thing is that its weakest point right in the middle, it can handle 26 kilos.
I mean... Now, take it off. Do you have? I'll hold you, you hold it.
Down on the floor, down on the floor. Oh!
Yeah, so next step is clad the inside of the cupboard and then do the styling on the actual shelf. So sand this, paint this, and repair all of these scratches and whatnot on the aluminium. So now we're coming to this. These are the rods that we're going to suspend between our 2 aluminium beams. So we were waiting for these to come. These are rubber grommets. Can you see that? Excellent. So yeah, literally what the plan is... Ooh, let me just flip you around. So we drill these holes. They are 11 mil wide. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a grommet in each hole. And the rod is somehow going to match on both sides.
So essentially, this is going to go together like that, and it's basically an aluminium ladder. And then once these are secured in place, we can hang stuff off these, and they should not move because of the grommets. Our aluminium rod is 8 mil wide, and these internal diameter of the grommets is also 8 mil. So when you put them on one another, they just about fit. So now the tricky part is getting the grommets in the holes.
So, we have come to the moment that nobody's been waiting for. How do we put these rods that are now fixed in this beam into this beam grommet when one has to do this?
for each one.
Okay, so Sam, could you pop our friends onto the tripod? I'm gonna need your help.
So you want me to come over the top?
Yeah.
This looks like a really weird trap.
That's one. First one came out.
Hey! Okay, we need about... Well, how many rods are there? 17? So... Each person... We need 9 people.
Ideally 17.
Well, yeah, ideally 17, but...
I'm afraid we can't because there's a pandemic.
Thing is, you only have to do this once.
Unless we do another shelf like this.
No. No.
Oh no, the first one came out. Tilt forward. Tilt forward. Come on.
So
They're all in. Now, we need to make sure that none of the grommets, like, get sucked in or pushed in more like into the holes. Or we have to start all over again.
Cool. Our shelf. The screws all hold this in together, so these bars can move a little bit, but they are pretty much wedged in. And as far as I can tell, the only one that actually moves is this one here. So if I push it all the way to one side, there you go, it moved a little, and push it the other way. There you go. So it's long enough so it's trapped in here. So the shelf is actually going to be this way up. And essentially those beams under there, we can hang stuff off. Like towels or bags of things, bags of apples.
You know, I'm really glad that we waited until the wall cladding is up to put the shelf up, you know, finally. Because otherwise we would have to remove the shelf to put the cladding on. And I really, really would have not liked that.
Oh, you're tucking the fabric.
Nice. Okay, so we've been debating whether to have doors or no doors on our cupboards, and we decided to try with no doors first. So there's a few main reasons why we decided to try and do an open cupboard. One is ventilation. We want to minimize condensation, and the more airflow there is through all the furniture, the less likely mold is. Then doors are more weight, so if we can have some nice soft light baskets hiding all the messiness instead of doors, that's a bonus. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So what we need to do now is create a nice neat trim that basically will hide this edge and will give you a nice border, so it finishes the cupboard off and it stops things flying out. Okay.
So that's the opening that you have.
Yeah, that's the opening, and then we need to arc here with the side of the van. Ta-da! We're done! There we go, it's nice and smooth, and long story short, we finished shaping, we screwed it on, and then we finished the edges as best we could. So I think it looks really nice, and the grain is excellent. I really like that we went with the straight edges. So that and that are parallel, and that are parallel. It was nice to imagine, you know, a vertical and horizontal line just for a moment, okay? And it really helped to shape, you know, this. Oh, and some boxes came from IKEA, which we really happy about because we waited 3 weeks for them. But boxes. Ah. So obviously, because right now we're keeping them open plan, and we're gonna see how that pans out. We're gonna need some organizers to make things look neat. Look at them, boxes.
And we did buy 9 of them, not just 3.
Yeah, you can actually fit 9 on the shelf, but we have other shelves if we want to. But they're the right size to come in and out easily. And the front lip basically, stops them coming off. There's a lip at the back.
So they are basically trapped in there and cannot move.
The only way they're really going to come out is if we go over some major speed bump and then it does or something like that, or it like flips on its side and basically does this, which doesn't take that much to fall out. Obviously we've put all of these and they're nice and sturdy, and here we have a hook, and then basically you can hook whatever you want on this. I was thinking of getting those fruit baskets, like those mesh baskets, kind of let them dangle here. Would be pretty cool. But I really like how these ones turned out. There's just enough room for us to comfortably, you know, hook a decent sized hook on here. And the back shot. So there you go. Now obviously when the bench is here, one will not find the need to jump in and hit their head. But right now,
it's happened more than once.
It hurts, okay? But yeah. But otherwise, on the back we kept it rather simple. We're using this giant lip here on the van to, you know, do the same job as the front trim. And then we just put this bottom trim here to obviously stop them from the back. Same result. I like it. It looks very fresh. Actually, our van is a weird combo of aluminium and pine. Or poplar, if you count the walls there as well. But it's like wood and metal. We haven't actually used that much plastic anywhere at the moment, I think. Just in the conduit area.
Yep.
Nothing major. We should probably try and avoid using as much as possible, because then that's going to be quite a few material types.
Yeah.
So next week we're going back to the underfloor heating. We're planning to put the PEX pipe in the floor itself, and hopefully we never have to take it out once it's in. And then, after that is done, we can actually get on with the plumbing of the floor. Not the actual plumbing for like the shower and the sink. There's no plumbing in this van. So, underfloor heating coming up in many stages. Anyway, I'm gonna go adore my shelf. See you next time. Hello. You're very pretty. I have a shelf in my house that I can use. You know how long he has been.